If you could change anything from the last 5 or 6 years, is there anything you would change? Fundamentally?
Yeah, of course. So maybe, well, you know, that's the old cliche, isn't it? I wouldn't change anything. If I did it all again, I wouldn't change a thing. But we'd all change loads of things, you know? You know, you have to learn from your mistakes, otherwise what's the point in making them? I'd change every single thing that I fucked up on. And I'd try and do it right, yeah. And... there's mostly things to do with family, really, which are plaguing me a bit at the moment, but I don't really want to talk about them so much because there's no, you know, if I thought there was a way to sort it out like this, then I would, but there isn't, so...
Okay.
There's no point.
But what is very clear from your music and from meeting you is that you're actually just a very kind of open and very creative individual who is at his happiest. It seems to be at his happiest when he's performing and creating.
Yeah.
So all the rest of it is sort of sometimes frustrating and gets in the way.
Yeah, of course. You know, there's the freak show element to it, you know. But it's like two different audiences, isn't it? It's the people that, you know, that are happy just to take what they can from you as an artist and like believe in you and believe in your music and take an interest, and that's it. You know, that's where it stops, and then that's where the other lot come in. And in this age, it comes in like a fucking swamp, doesn't it? It comes in like a torrent, and it fucks people's lives up completely. It fucks their heads up and it fucks their lives up, and you can't even imagine like what it does to people.
But you do manage to transcend that, because even a lot of people who might be ambivalent to you as a person or believe stuff that happens in the tabloids, they also will actually love your music too. You reach out through to them. So I think you do transcend that. For example, like my sister at her marriage, For Lovers, was their first dance at her wedding, to her recent wedding last year.
That's beautiful. Because
it transcends all of that.
Yeah, well, that's it then, isn't it? You know, I can harp on all day about, you know, poor me and, you know, the bloody tabloids and this and that, but it's a double-edged sword, you know, really, because, you know, you get a bit carried away sometimes and you think you can play the game and, you know, you try things on and in the end it just backfires, so... Yeah, either become so successful that you can buy out everything and control everything and dismiss all vulgarity and ignorance, but then that's just playing God, isn't it? And yeah, it's the fun in that.
Back to the album, I think one of the songs that stood out to me was A Little Death Around the Eyes. It's very kind of cinematic. It's got a real kind of, there's a sort of Scott Walker-y element to it. It's very big, and that's got an element of Carl in it as well, hasn't it, that song, lyrically? There's a little bit of Carl in that.
Boyfriend's name was Dave. I was bold and brave. That is Carl's lines, yeah. And in fact, the title, A Little Death Around the Eyes, was the title of a novel his sister wrote. And as soon as I heard that, I thought, what an amazing title, right? I'm going to write a song called that. And he said, no, you can't. That's my sister's novel. You can't. But I did. And there we have it. But it means petit mot.
It's orgasm.
You know that, okay. But
around the eyes, I've never heard it.
I know.
Yeah, it's nice.
But around the eyes.
That's so prosaic. It was going so poetic until that point.
Sweeping, anthemic, you know, Scott walking.
Then just gooey eyes. Okay. So the day after your birthday, your tour proper begins. That's exciting. To be touring. Will you be touring with... who's going to be on tour as your band? Will you have Dot singing with you as well?
Yeah. Miss Dot Allison, Graham, he's coming on the road.
The whole tour?
Steven, yeah, most of it. I don't think he's coming to Grimsby. The string quartet trio, who incidentally more rock and roll than any of us. Like, I mean, I was tucked up in my bunk at midnight on the way to Glasgow, and I could hear the violinist lurching about, like I can smashing a bottle of Jack Daniels against his own head and wailing something about Tranmere Rovers. And that's the violinist. So
do you feel like saying to them, "Oh, slippery slope"?
Yeah. I'm trying to get John Robinson, he was the Bandits lead singer, trying to get him to come to as many as possible because I just love hanging about with him, you know, and I want him to come on tour. He's cool.
Co-wrote one of the songs, didn't
Yeah, well, he wrote "I Am the Rain" mostly.
Okay.
I got a couple of lines in there. Wolfman's not coming on tour, which is probably for the best, really. A morbid old.
So is that the best way to sort of see
Describe
him?
Wolfman.
Well, yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that. I don't know. I can't comment.
We've fallen out.
Have you?
Yeah.
How recently?
A couple of days ago.
What's he done?
It's what he hasn't done, man. He just sits there right now in his chair, slagging off everyone. You know.
he wrote for London.
He came to the gig. He came to the gig the other night. He didn't even say hello to me. He didn't even watch the gig. He was just in the dressing room piping. And it's like, you know. And he's just all bitter, and he doesn't make any effort. Friendship's got to be a two-way thing. I go out, you know, I can track all areas of Hackney to see him. He never even calls me, you know. Just like, you know, it's great to see you, lend us 20 quid.
But that's when you need, when he's in a space like that, that's when you need your friends. 'Cause you
Yeah, I
must
know,
have
but
been in a space.
but it's been going on like for years and years
Okay,
now,
right.
and it's just too much. Like I see my friend rot away, you know. That's why I'm angry with him. Because I
That's a
love him
shame.
so much, and I
Yeah.
know how brilliant he is. And it's
The
just,
song you co-wrote on the album.
and he's sad, you know, because that is, if there's ever one person that's gone unrecognised, it is Peter Wolf. He has got, honestly, he's got an album of like killer songs, unbelievable songs. You know, if I could cover them and they go number one, I might do it actually. They're unbelievable.
Maybe
Like,
that would shake him up a bit.
really heavy. Brilliant lyrics, like.
But he won't be coming on tour because you've fallen out.
Yeah, I just can't get through to him at the moment.
But there must have been people in your life who felt a bit like that when you were at your worst, that couldn't communicate with you.
Yeah, but normally it's always drugs, you know, and because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So as well as the album, you've got the single coming out next week, then the album, and you've got the tour starting in between. That's a pretty good way to start. Is it coincidence that it's happening around your birthday?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can't believe it. 28 already. It's like,
I thought it was 25.
no, 28.
Oh, 28,
Yeah.
okay. That's good. Only a few more years till you're 30, and then it'll be fine. I think it will shock people that there's no kind of sort of scratchy, garagey sort of rock and roll numbers on the album. It's a very measured, a very, very heartfelt, ballady, grown-up solo album. For a debut solo album, I think it's extraordinarily good. From Arcady, Sweet By and By, it's all kind of, that's probably the most jaunty it gets, is Sweet By and By on the old Joanna. It's a bit musical. It's lovely.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
But it feels really, really like a lot of stuff is coming out here, which is good. And the next one will be amazing if this is this good.
Yeah, well, I hope anyone who purchases it and enjoys it comes back for more.
This weekend, the film Watchmen's coming out. Did you read the graphic novel Watchmen?
No, I
God,
didn't.
it was one of my favourites, aside of all the great, Flaubert and all that, and Madame Bovary. But one of the main characters in Watchmen has Rorschach ink blots for a face. And I wanted to see what you saw when you saw these ink blots.
Yeah, Wolfman.
That's quite healthy, actually, Wolfman, in response to that one.
Yeah, it's like kiwi, Mau Mau, devil, pipehead.
How about that one?
Tuberculosis.
That one?
John Squire.
I thought you were going to say a load of Pollux.
Oh, he loves his words.
Shire
Peter,
horse.
final message about when I. That's right. That's what happened. When I saw you backstage at the awards, you were with Carl, and actually, he gave quite a positive response to the whole idea of getting back together again. Because you said,
I know.
do you remember that was live between the two of you and me, and it came back here, and the fans kind of went, "What?" Because he kind of
Yeah.
went, "Yeah, I'll do it for nothing."
Well, it's going to happen.
Is it?
Yeah, of course it is. Isn't it? It's going to happen.
He said he'll do it for nothing.
Yeah. Well, it was live on air.
Get that tape.
It's going to happen. We can't. It's unfinished business, isn't it? And, you know, bitterness will rise up in me like so much childishness. And I know that's going to happen. And, you know, they kicked me out of my own band, for fuck's sake. But he's got things that I've done, apparently. So, fuck it. I love them songs and I love him. And I want to play with him, them songs. And he does to play with me one, two. And it's going to happen, yeah.
And you think now that he can see that you've got an album out, you've got it together, you're going on your tour, that he'll go, well, maybe I can spend some time with Pete again. Peter.
Maybe he was just, you know, because he said, he was saying, well, look, what, you know, you're going to just, you know, it's all going to happen again. And I said, well, look, you know, one thing, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but one thing that's going to help me not, you know, fuck up again is, you know, is you, and like, you know, doing all that together, because, you know, it means a lot, you know.
It's the best way to keep healthy is to do stuff that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great to see you on stage together, the two of you again.
Yeah, it'd be wicked to play them songs.
All right.
A boo-hoo.
Over here.